This week on WestfordCAT News, the school committee updated 6 policies.
It wasn't that there was necessarily anything incorrect in our policy.
The Board of Health discussed what to do about unregulated bodywork establishments.
Local boards of health cannot regulate massage. However, there is a very long list of exemptions that do fall under our local control if we so choose to do it.
And Chick Singer Night rocked the house. Stay with us. Welcome to WestfordCAT News. I'm Tracy Tebro, a WestfordCAT board member. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to sign up for our email alerts to get our latest Westford news articles. Just visit westfordcatnews.org and click on the red subscribe button in the upper right corner. Do you have a local issue that you feel passionate about? Our news director, Joyce Polino-Crane, would like to work with you on the details and collaborate on telling your story. Email jcrane@westfordcat.org to team up. 6 school policies got a dusting recently by the School Committee Policy Subcommittee. The updates were triggered by the enactment of the Pregnant Worker Fairness Act, which goes into effect in Massachusetts on April 1st. The subcommittee also reviewed the following policies: student harassment, equal opportunity employment, educational philosophy, school choice, and non-school choice. Here's school committee member Gloria Miller at the March 11th meeting.
It wasn't that there was necessarily anything incorrect in our policy, but I think we felt like our policy needed more detail and more information to be more comprehensive. For example, our policy mentioned that students would be permitted to continue in school. Well, we wanted to go further and say not only would a pregnant student be permitted to continue in school, but should also be able to permitted to remain in regular classes with their peers and to participate in extracurricular activities, and that those extracurricular activities would be the same ones that they were able to participate in prior.
Member Min Kwan Zung pointed out an omission in the policy that led to a discussion.
So I do have one question regarding the pregnant students. Mm-hmm. It doesn't actually talk about, like, can they bring the baby to the school? It doesn't talk about that.
That's a really interesting question. Our previous policy did not address that. I think that's something we could check in with administration and see if that's something that we should consider adding into the policy. I don't know. I don't know how that has been.
How many such incidents do we have?
Very few.
Very few?
Yeah, my own personal feeling is I don't think that would be the best thing for a young mother to do in terms of focus and safety of the child.
But we need to actually spell out in the policy so that we have something to follow.
Unless it's outlined in some other policy or procedure.
Yeah.
I do not believe it is, but again, most of this draft language comes from the MASC guidelines, and their policy does not, their pregnant student policy does not outline anything having to do with bringing an infant to a school building.
So theoretically, they could, right? A pregnant student after giving birth, they could bring the baby to school because it's not, you don't say they cannot.
For anyone wishing to critique the policies, the committee voted unanimously to extend a comment period until March 29th. School Committee Chairman Avery Adam said comments can be posted at westfordk12.us. Here's News Director Joyce Polino-Crane with a highlight from the March 12th Selectmen's meeting.
Thanks, Tracy. After a long discussion about the 9-acre parcel known as Drew Gardens, Selectmen voted 4-0 not to recommend Article 16 for the annual town meeting on March 23rd. Selectman Mark Cost abstained from voting with no explanation. Article 16 is a citizen's petition filed by Tom Barry and Bill Nussbaum, seeking approval for developer Ebby Masaladon to build an almost 14,000 square foot restaurant on the land. But because the town purchased 3 agricultural preservation restrictions in the late 1990s, it's unclear whether a restriction can be amended or released. Westford residents are divided over the matter. On March 12th, opponents packed the Selectmen's meeting and shared their thoughts. Cost opened the floor to questions. Here is resident Robin Cannell, followed by attorney Greg Corbo, who represents the town.
You're looking for a new lawyer?
The only way a citizen's petition not be put on the warrant if what the petitioner is asking is illegal?
No,
That's not true.
that's not true.
So,
I'm calling a hot, what is it called? I'm calling a friend, I'm phoning a friend.
Do you have any?
No, so under Chapter 39 of the general laws, upon receipt of a petition, as long as the correct number of signatures are certified, the petition has to appear on the warrant exactly in the form it was submitted. Whether or not it proposes something that can lawfully be done by town meeting is initially a call by the moderator, and ultimately, a determination by the courts if town meeting action is legal. But there's nothing that the Board of Selectmen can do. Once they receive a properly certified petition, it has to go on the warrant.
okay.
In other news from the Selectmen's meeting, the State Office of Public Safety and Inspections appears to have shut down the bandstand lift in the town common. Town Manager Jody Ross received a letter on March 8th with the news.
I got this letter on Friday that says that this agency has officially placard.
Has asked you to.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, they have officially, it says, and it's hard for me to read at this time.
Okay, no, I
have
understand.
been instructed by Chief Sampson of the Office of Public Safety and Inspections to officially placard, which means shut down your outside bandstand wheel lift because it does not meet all code requirements of the wheelchair lift. Then they talked about we needed to upgrade it and so on. Then we need to inspect it and by the Commonwealth of Mass, and gave us an option of a portable. And this is by order of Chief Sampson of the Division of Professional Licensure. So I asked the Commissioner, Matt Hackala, Friday, but I didn't get an answer till today at 3:55. And I got whatever. Anyway. And he says, in response to the letter written by the Division of Professional Licensure on March 6th regarding the bandstand lift, the State Elevator Division is part of the Office of Public Safety and Inspections under DPL and has the right to placard, shut down any elevator, lift, etc. that they believe does not meet elevator regulations. In simple terms, the lift now has to be cleared by the state elevator inspector before it can be used again. This now requires the bandstand to be totally shut down due to non-compliance for handicap access. So I want to hear from Greg, but my interpretation is we don't have the opportunity to do this. They already did it.
Done it.
And now what we have to do is put a tape or a gate or whatever is up to prevent the bandstand from being used. That's my interpretation, and if Greg has something different, I don't think this board has, unless they want to defy this state agency, which they may, and then I will defy them. But I just want you to know, I don't think they're making a decision to do this tonight.
Watch the entire Selectmen's meeting on demand at WestfordCAT.org.
Board of Health members on March 11th engaged in a discussion about bodywork establishments and whether there's a need to regulate those not overseen by the state. Here's Health Director Jeff Stevens.
The state completely regulates massage. In fact, one of the letters I gave you says that local boards of health cannot regulate massage. However, there is a very long list of exemptions that do fall under our local control if we so choose to do it. And it's things like reflexology and bodywork, acupressure, Jinshindo, Tunia, Shiatsu, mind-body centering, Reiki, things like that. And what we're kind of tossing around is we don't have any regulation or anything that allows us to see what's going on in some of those shops. They can pretty much do whatever they want. They're not regulated by massage. They are not regulated at all.
Board of Health member Joanne Bellinger, who said she is a Reiki practitioner, took a stance against regulating some of the practices listed.
I have an issue with this, and we brought it up years ago, and it's the same issue that I'm going to bring up again. First of all, I have issues with the Wakefield definitions. Half of the definitions on there are massage. Just because you don't know what the word is and you don't know the origins.
But if they're not regulated under those terms.
They are massage. Shiatsu is massage.
It is. Is it covered under the massage regulation?
Massage is massage.
Watch the entire Board of Health meeting at WestfordCAT.org. Here's News Director Joyce Polino Crane with a town meeting preview.
This fall, Jim Antonelli, chairman of the town's naming committee, announced at a school committee meeting that his members had approved a change of name for the Stony Brook School. The plan was to rename it Everett V. Olson Jr. Middle School in honor of the current superintendent. Article 24 will ask town meeting voters to approve it, but Article 25, filed as a citizen's petition by Christy Bates, seeks to name the Millennium Building after Olson instead. Selectmen took no actions on the matter, saying they were looking to the school committee for guidance. But according to school committee chairman Avery Adam, the committee decided to let town meeting voters decide. Town meeting opens at 10 a.m. on March 23rd at the Abbott School. Back to you, Tracy.
And now for our feature of the week. When Emma Oliver Minor sat down at the piano as the first performer of Chick Singer Night on March 9th, she captured the room. It was the first in a wave of performances that captivated family and friends inside the Parish Center for the Arts. The annual program, organized by Jennifer Truesdale and Westford resident Marcia Meckers, gives gifted young female singers a platform for their art. The engine behind this year's show was Marcia, who brought it back to Westford for the second time in 2 years. Marcia is a marketing entrepreneur married to saxophonist Jason Meckers, and she is the lead singer for the Jazz Punishers Band. Of the 5 young performers, 3, Jill Limbert, Victoria Andrews, and Oliver Minor, were from Westford. Lauren Brennan sang a rocking, signed, sealed, and delivered version of the challenging Stevie Wonder song. But it was Kaylee Fetterman whose touching song, written about her late father, tugged at the heartstrings. The dynamic Chick Singer Night Boston Band backed all the singers. David Stackhouse and Paul Pampanella played the opening music set, and Slap That Cat Band closed the show. Chick Singer Night features local singers and songwriters while raising money to support Boston area music programs and venues. This year's proceeds will benefit the Parish Center for the Arts in Westford. The Westford Academy Fencing Club, which we featured in October, has some good news to share. The foil squad took first place in the squad championship of the Massachusetts High School Fencing League on February 8th in Boston. The heart of the club is its advisor and coach, James Ma, whose sons, Anthony and Alex, participate in the sport. Here's Anthony, followed by his brother Alex.
The championship itself is the squad championship. It's like new this year. So within each whole high school team, there are 6 different squads, 3 for each weapon, and then there are the 2 gender groups as well. So our foil squad, our men's foil squad qualified for the state championships, for the squad championships, and they ended up taking first place. So this is really, we're kind of making history for Westford Academy, because not only is this the first time that we've gone to the state championships, but it's also the first time that we've gotten first place at the state championships, and I'm really proud of the team.
Wonderful. So Alex, what was your experience at the States?
So I was one of the fencers on the foil team, and I felt like it was a pretty, it wasn't too hard to win, I guess, but it was a good time with the friends on the foil team.
Do you have any plans to make any changes for the club next year once your big bro is gone?
Well, I plan to sort of try to get our other squads to state championships, so our school can compete as an overall at the state championships instead of just our foil squad, and probably just recruit more people for to spread the experience and the fencing sport in general.
That's wonderful. And Anthony, do you have any parting words for us now that you're on the other side of senior year? You're heading towards the finish line.
Yeah, so first, related to the state championships and basically the whole season this year, it's the first actual competitive season that we've taken as basically a high school fencing team, and I'd like to thank our coach, James, my father, who couldn't be here today, but he played a big part in our results and also just keeping us together during the whole year. I'd also like to thank the parents of the fencers for all the support that they gave. They were able to give donations and things like that for us to pay for the different costs for the tournaments, so that helped a lot as well.
Senior Anthony is the club president this year. When he graduates, rising junior Alex will pick up the leadership role. To see other Westford Academy featured clubs, visit WestfordCAT's YouTube page and search for After the Bell. Bailey is a 4-year-old Yorkie Chihuahua mix, available now for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's WestfordCAT production coordinator Patty Stalker with more.
Here's a friendly little fella who's looking for a new home. 4-year-old Bailey is available now for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Shelter volunteer Roger Logeman tells us more.
This is Bailey. Bailey is a 4-year-old long-haired Chihuahua Yorkie mix. He's been here at the shelter since February 20th. Bailey has a bit of a checkered history. He is very friendly with people he knows, but he's very protective of his home. And so strangers come to the house and Bailey gets nervous and excited and barks a lot. So Bailey is a dog that will really benefit from training and kind of desensitization. As you can see, he's food motivated, so he should be fairly easy to train. Bailey would do fine with other dogs, pending, of course, a dog-to-dog introduction. He's okay around cats. Probably does best in an adult-only home, and that home should be one that's willing to invest some time in training. But he's a little sweetheart when he knows you. Aren't you? Aren't you? You just think you're a big guard dog, but you're not. You're not. You're just a little sweetheart.
If you'd like to provide Bailey with his forever home, or would like more information on donating to or volunteering at the Lowell Humane Society, visit them Tuesday through Sunday at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell, or go to lowellhumanesociety.org. Call 978-452-7781. You can also find them on Facebook. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
Anything for a little bit of hot dog. Huh? That's a good boy.
With moderate temperatures and sunny days this week, could spring be just around the corner? Let's see what weather.com is forecasting as we head into the weekend. Here's WestfordCAT board member Betsy Alvarez with suggestions for things to do in the area.
Thanks, Tracy. The Parker String Quartet is coming to Indian Hill Music on April 13 at 8 p.m. The foursome plays works by Debussy, Janicek, and Beethoven. Visit indianhillmusic.org to purchase tickets for $35 each, or call for tickets at 978-486-9524, extension 116. Celebrate the end of winter at the Cameron Senior Center on Wednesday, March 20th at 11 a.m. with Happy Holi, an Indian holiday that brings paintings and sculptures to life, each telling a story about Indian mythology. Dance artist Molly Pal will perform. This program is supported in part by a grant from the Westford Cultural Council and includes lunch. To register, please call 978-692-5523. Admission is $5. The Merrimack Repertory Theater launches the world premiere of a Jack Kerouac play on March 20th, titled The Haunted Life. The play is a coming-of-age story about a man's relationship with his conservative father. It takes place just before the United States entered World War II and illustrates the cost of war on a small town. Joel Colliner stars in the show. Sean Daniels and Christopher Oscar Pina will direct it. Ticket prices start at $24 per person. To make a purchase, visit tickets.mrt.org. The MRT is located at 50 East Merrimack Street in Lowell. I am Betsy Alvarez, a WestfordCAT board member. Back to you, Tracy.
That's it for now, Westford. We leave you with images of the open house held March 9th at the newly remodeled Rodenbush Community Center. Have a great week, Westford.